Hello Taurus, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Taurus is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It is totally free, doesn't cost anything. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Taurus, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. 10 of Wands. This is a card of oppression. This is a card of a lot of responsibility. I feel like you're somebody that kind of feels like everything's on your shoulders. That whether it's at work, at home, at school, with friends, family, in relationships, it kind of feels like everything is sort of your fault, you know? Like if something goes wrong, it has to be on you. And it feels like this is a big responsibility. It feels like a lot of weight, okay? A heavy burden. It may even lead to feelings like other people aren't really contributing enough. Other people aren't helping out enough, okay? Let's put this card into some context. Okay, this is a card of maximum effort. It is a 10 of Wands, right? We got a 7 of Pentacles. A Princess of Wands. An 8 of Swords. The Moon. A 7 of Wands. Okay. Well, with a 7 of Wands and 7 of Pentacles, it makes a bit of sense here what's going on. I feel like you're putting in maximum effort to something, and you're not seeing the results that you wanted to see. And it's kind of, you got a couple choices, right? You can either do something impulsive and perhaps quit, or perhaps, approach this situation in some kind of, it's kind of, you either quit or kind of sometimes smash the toy, all right? Something's not working and we kind of just want to rip up the paper and throw it away, right? That's the impulsivity of our Princess of Wands. Or what we can do is we can continue every day, as often, as frequently as we need to, confront whatever obstacle it is and push ourselves to get through this. To continue to meet up with whatever the edge of that situation, let's say it's a work thing. And every day you come up against the problem and you can't quite get past it. What we do the next day, we go back right to that edge and we keep pushing until we make a little bit of progress, a little bit of progress, a little bit of progress. See, this is the 7 of Pentacles is a card called failure. To me, it's the little f failures, right? It's like when you go to a gym and you're trying to lift as much weight as you can until your muscles just fail, right? It's a thing. I don't know if you've heard that term. You probably have heard that term before. That you're gonna lift the weights. You're gonna do as many reps as you can until failure. And you say, okay, well, I did 98 repetitions, whatever. Well, then tomorrow you're gonna go back, or maybe you're gonna skip a day. But then you're gonna go back and you're gonna say, okay, 98 was where I failed last time. Now I'm gonna try to do 90. I'm gonna try to do at least 98 today. So we get there, 97, 98, and maybe we're trying to do that last. We're trying to do 99. Can't quite do it. We fail. Okay, 98 again. Go back the next day or skip a day. Do the same thing. So we sort of know where our limit is. And every time we come back to the problem, we try to just push a little bit past that limit. And that's the 7 of Wands here. We're not giving up. Okay? You may want to. We may feel so frustrated that we want to just kind of, we just want to throw away all of our exercise equipment, And this could be anything. This could be any kind of project, creative project. It could be something at home. It could be something that you're working on. You're trying to fix something. Maybe you're trying to get something work. You're trying to build something. And, it's the frustration that we get when we keep coming up against the problem day after day, and we just can't get past it. Let's do the rest of our cards here. Ace of Cups, Princess of Swords, an Eight of Cups, and an Ace of Pentacles. Interesting with the aces there. I feel like in this case, the aces represent the summit of the mountain. Okay? And I think that Spirit's indicating that you're very close to achieving the breakthrough you need. Now, whatever you're working on now may feel like you're putting in all this effort, may feel like you're the only one there, no one's even helping you. You're right up against the edge, and every day you're pushing against that limit. Every day you come up against that wall, and you're trying to figure out how to get through it. You're very close to getting through it. So what you need now is perseverance, and you need a willingness to, ask for help. Get some assistance. Okay? We see the Princess of Swords in the position of the environment. In terms of your relationships, it might be that maybe we got to humble ourselves a little bit so that we can just ask for help. At least like, hey, can you hold the flashlight? That sort of thing. Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor, infinite and unknown. And we're going to set it down right here with our little sea turtle friend. And we're not going to look at that card until the very end. But we'll tie everything together, and it will give us the confirmation that we need. If at any point during this reading you feel like you know what that card is, please put your prediction down in the comments. Okay? Let's do it together. Let's exercise the intuition. Now, the one thing I see looking around the room here, that the only major arcana is the Moon card. The Moon is a card of our imagination, right? It's a card of our, our deepest fears, right? It's a fear of change. It's a fear of uncertainty, okay? But what it really symbolizes is that you're right at the threshold of the breakthrough, okay? We see the sun is just about to break through the horizon, break over the horizon, crest over the hill there, and illuminate all this darkness, okay? So that big triumph, that big hallelujah moment is so close, okay? Spirit's saying that you've had an issue with your elbow lately. Something's going on with your joints or something, yeah. And also, who's the one that gets the nosebleeds? Someone is prone, like maybe it's the weather, I don't know, but somebody in your life, maybe you, is kind of gets nosebleeds a lot this time of year, maybe, yeah. So we've got our one major arcana energy. And I think that that's so important because Spirit's saying, look, there's no guarantee. There's never been any certainty about this situation. But if you trust in this spiritual energy, you'll achieve your goals because you're so close to that breakthrough. We got fire, fire, fire. We've got water and water. We've got air and air. We've got earth and earth. Okay. And I think this is something that you want so badly. You feel that it is your purpose, that it's something that is resonating within you so intensely that there's no other path for you. You're putting all of your effort. You don't care if everybody abandons you. You're doing it, right? So we talked about the Seven of Pentacles here. And this is a card that kind of says, like, know where your limits are. Figure out what the blockage is. Figure out where your, what is it about this situation that is giving you the problem? It's kind of like we have to identify our limit so that we know, okay, that's what I got to focus on. What is the area that you need to change? And 7, right, is something that's not working. So what is it that's not working? Can we identify that? And I think that's where we got our Princess of Swords too. We have to be able to pinpoint this, to show it, to say, okay, that's it. That's the area where I'm having trouble. You know, it's like maybe you're at university. Well, what's really going on there? Well, it's math. Well, what about math? Maybe it's the logarithms or something. I just can't figure out those damn things. We have to sort of identify where the trouble spot is and what our limit is, so we kind of know what to focus on. Okay? So in some ways, the 10 of Wands with this 7 of Pentacles is saying you have to put all of your effort onto this particular thing. Don't spend a lot of energy doing things that you're already good at. To me, these two cards say we got to focus on the weakness right now. We got to focus on getting some progress in whatever area we feel we sort of are the weakest, right? We sort of lack the skill or lack the experience. Okay, it's like someone's at the gym, but you know, where do you really need to focus? A lot of people say, "Oh, they skip leg day," and nobody likes leg day, right? So it's kind of saying, well, that's what I need to focus on. That's kind of my biggest challenge right now. So it's about putting all of our effort onto that, not just sort of, not putting all of our energy into what we're already good at, what we already know we can do, because then we're creating a greater distance between our strength and our weakness. We need to bring the weakness up a little bit, you know, so that we can kind of remain whole, yeah, and not get too stretched out. So I think this is about identifying whatever that blockage is, whatever that obstacle is. What is the thing that needs, if this is a financial thing, what is it that really, is it our spending? Is it our food budget? Is it our entertainment stuff? Is it, where am I really sort of wasting money? And that shows us the area we need to focus on most. Okay. In an effort to bring all of our spiritual forces, bring our entire being up to the summit of this mountain. It's the only way we're going to get there, is we get there intact, you know. We're going to need every faculty we have to get to the top of this mountain. I think that's what these aces are. Getting to the top of the mountain. This is maximum effort. And it's paying off. You're getting through that 7. That's that brick wall, right? And now underneath the surface, we got the Princess of Wands. This is like, we see that brick wall, and we've been trying and trying and trying, and that frustration just, it reaches a breaking point, and we just end up banging against the wall with our fists and just yelling at it and just kind of losing our composure a little bit. That doesn't help anything. That's a release of this frustration. And I think this is something that you're starting to feel inside. You're starting to feel like, I can't take much more of this. That eventually, if things keep going the way they're going, I'm going to freak out. I'm going to lose it. I'm going to throw it all away. I'm going to walk away. I'm going to smash the toy. Okay? And so we're trying to make some progress now before this happens. And what you're hoping for is that you're just about to break through. I feel like you are. You are just about to break through. This is the only major arcana energy here, okay? That breakthrough is imminent. But we don't want to do anything impulsive to jeopardize how much progress we have already made. Now, with the 8 of Swords in the background, I feel that for some reason, there's no turning back here. You know what I mean? I feel like we're kind of in this position now. It kind of reminds me of this book that I'm reading. It's called The Luminous Dead. I can't remember. It's Caitlin somebody that wrote it. But it's about a caver on this. It's kind of a sci-fi horror thing. And there's this cave explorer, and she's on a different planet. She's down in these deep mine caves underground. And it's just a whole maze a complex maze of these tunnels and all these cave systems and things, and she's got someone on the surface there in her earpiece that's kind of talking to her and helping her guide her through and stuff. Basically, the idea is that she can't turn back. She doesn't know how to get kind of back, and ultimately that's what she starts to do, is try to go back where she came. But I'm kind of feeling that this is such a complex situation that we really can't undo the progress that we've made. That the only thing that you can do right now is move forward. Okay? Going backward isn't an option. Now, the Eight of Swords is a card of self-sabotage sometimes. Okay? So I wonder if, with these two together, if we've been in this situation before where we've kind of, we've been confronted with an obstacle and we've given it a good go, but that sometimes we kind of, sometimes we freak out. And maybe the freaking out kind of ends up setting us back. It ends up, you're building anything, I don't know, you're building a model airplane or something, and it becomes so, you can't just get this last little piece in there, and it starts to get frustrating, and then what do? You just take it and you smash it, you crumple it up, you break it, snap it in half, right? What does that solve? Because now we got to start over, or now we just got to go and cool off and think, okay, well now I've got to rebuild the whole dang thing. And so it's, and this doesn't have to be a physical thing. This can be, well, even a relationship, or this can be a new skill we're trying to learn. It could be a hobby. It could be an art piece. Let's say you're trying to paint a picture, and you have this sort of creative block, and it gets frustrating, and to the point where we just sort of rip the canvas in half and we throw it away. Well, now we've got to travel that entire journey over again to get back to where we are now. So we're not really helping ourselves by doing that. And so the Eight of Swords in the background, it starts to make me wonder if that's kind of what we've done, if we've sabotaged ourselves a little bit in the past. Maybe through this impulsive energy where we'll get so close to finishing something, and then the frustration will just be too much, and something will happen, And it seems like it always happens right when we're like this close to success, because that's when the tension is going to be the greatest. Okay? I think you're someone who's prone to overthinking. And I think that with our 10 of Wands and our 8 of Swords, I feel that there is an issue that you have with some people around you, that there are people that aren't helping you out, or there's just like someone's not pulling their weight somewhere. Okay? This might have something to do with your home or your living situation. Okay? I feel that you have a lot of interests, creative interests, sports, talents, abilities, hobbies, and things that you've explored in the past, but you ended up sort of giving them up abruptly when it felt like it got a little bit too much pressure. Yeah, does that make sense? I feel what you're doing right now, though, is you are not giving up. This is Spirit's telling you to go forward. Identify the area that needs the work and apply yourself to it. Okay? Believe that you can do it. You have to have certainty. Sometimes this is doubt. Sometimes this is saying, yeah, it'd be nice if I had that, or if I accomplished that, or if I became that, or achieved that. It's a nice goal. I would like to have it one day. But this is not certainty. This is more like doubt. This is saying, yeah, it'd be nice to have that one day, but it's too much work. But it's the journey, but the mountain's too high. Right? The 10 of Wands, to me, is the base of the mountain. And at the base of the mountain, it seems like you're looking up at the mountain, you're thinking, nah, that's a tall mountain. There's a lot I need to do to get there. And then the further up we get, it's kind of like the path back down gets more treacherous. And there, we reach a certain point where it's like, I can't go back down. I've got to go up and over, you know. And so it gets narrow. It gets more and more narrow at the top until we get to the aces. We get to the peak. We get to the summit, you know. And so I think that in a way that's sort of where you are. I don't know how high up the mountain you are, but I feel like you're very close to this breakthrough that you're looking for. And I think this is something that you've told yourself many times that, yeah, it'd be nice one day. Yeah, I'd like to do it. It would be cool to achieve that, but there's many more things in life I got to do first. But I have all these responsibilities. Yeah, I would like to do that, but I can't because my time is already devoted. My energy is already used up. My days are already full. My schedule is full. I would like to do it, but it's just too hard. Okay. But you made a choice and you decided to do this. I feel like you're almost there. The Seven of Wands is don't give up. Mars in Leo. It's saying this is the time for that final push. This is the time for you to muster all of this like martial energy that you have. And do it. This is the time where you're going to bring that weakness, whatever the weak point is, you're about to bring it up to the level of a strength. And that's going to be exactly what you need to reach this breakthrough. And I feel like you're going to change your life. I feel like this is really a big deal for you. I don't know what it is that you're doing, if it's something creative or something in terms of your business or your career or something like this. But let's talk about the path of the serpent now. As we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. Doesn't cost anything. Now we start with the Ace of Cups. Now you realize that this is essentially something that you need in your life. And this is your general energy. I think when you feel this kind of yearning, there ain't no mountain high enough, right? And so because you feel this, I think that this is like, you understand how absolutely amazing this is going to feel when you get to the top. It's worth this grueling effort. If it wasn't, you wouldn't be there, right? So this is kind of like, this is that grueling effort. This is all of the blood, sweat, and tears, all of the cuts and scrapes, all the fatigue that you will experience. And you're willing to do it because of this. Because you know that this is your path. This is what is meant for you. And the idea, too, is that if you know that this is right for you, if you really resonate with this, if this is part of your essential self, the energy will be there. That you will have that reserve of energy to make this final push and get to the summit of the mountain. Now, Spirit's telling me that there was somebody in your life that had a very serious illness when they were a kid. Everybody was really worried, but things turned out okay, right? I don't know if that was you or someone close to you. Maybe you have sort of a history of a lot of like medical things in life. You know what I mean? And I'm not a doctor, obviously. This isn't any kind of a diagnosis. But I guess it might be to illustrate that you really, you know how to overcome. You know how to push further than you think you can, you know. And I think when your heart is there, when your heart is in it, the energy will be there. I think this is one of those cases. The energy is there because your heart is in it. Now, in the environment, we've got the Princess of Swords. You've got to talk to your people. You've got to be able to ask for help. You got to sort of humble yourself enough to say, you got to hold the flashlight for me. Or can you please hold the rope? Or can you spot me? Or can you hold the ladder while I climb, right? It's not that we're asking somebody to do something for us. But we're just saying, can you support me in some way? Okay. And I think that it's not easy for you to ask for help. I feel like that's important. This is also about being honest enough with ourselves to know what that weak point is, to know what that weak spot is that we really, the blockage, that part of us in our energy that's preventing us from getting this breakthrough. Because that's what you need to work on. And it's our weak spot. We don't want to do that. We don't want to work on that. I like to exercise my strengths. I like to know what I'm good at it and do more of that. Yeah, there's some things that I'm it's like leg day. No one likes to do leg day. Why? Well, because it's hard and I'm not good at it. I like doing the bench press because I'm good at it. It feels good. I'm powerful. I feel confident in it. So I kind of feel like this is really understanding that, we lack some experience. We may lack the confidence in something, but that's where we need to apply ourselves. That's what's going to kind of create us. We're going to be like more well-rounded. It's going to be more sort of holistic. There is an interesting family dynamic in your life, right? I feel that you have... I feel like that you had a parent that was kind of, one of your parents wasn't really there or wasn't really supportive of you, right? I think there was one that was or is, but the other parent kind of wasn't encouraging, wasn't really helpful, I guess, right? The princesses of the tarot are all focused on what we have to learn, right? And it's basically a page. Learning how to communicate what our needs are, learning how to express ourselves, learning how to be honest with ourselves. And realizing that it's okay for us to make mistakes. It's okay to make errors. So it's really kind of a counter to our Princess of Wands here. Because the Princess of Wands is trying to learn how to do this thing. It keeps running into the blockage and starts to freak out. Well, the Princess of Swords comes in and says, okay, you know what? This is an amazing feat. This is a whole mountain I'm trying to climb. It's okay that I make mistakes. It's okay that I stumble, that I have weaknesses that I've got to identify and work on. We're not the expert. If we were the expert, we wouldn't even be here. We wouldn't care so much about it. And so we give ourselves with this card the freedom to say, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm figuring it out. I don't quite know how to do this, but I need to learn. We're giving ourselves the freedom to just kind of to be the student a little bit. Yeah, and to be the student, maybe it means we have to ask for guidance. We have to ask for help. Maybe this is at work, and we have to say, hey, show me how to do it, and then I'll do it. Right? Or teach me how to do it, and then I can do it. Right? Rather than, maybe with these two, we're trying to reinvent the wheel here because we don't want to ask for help. We don't want to learn how to do it from somebody else. We're just going to figure it out. It's going to take us longer. We're going to get frustrated. When we can just say, hey, show me how to use this machine here, and then we'll learn it. Okay, so we have to be open to that sort of thing as well. Now, the obstacle for you, or really the fear, the worry, the concern, is I think the failure to thrive in this. The fear, as we've kind of been talking about, the fear is all of this effort being put into something and then you not achieving and not getting it done, not getting to the summit. The obstacle here is to not let yourself feel hopeless, that this was the limit of your life and you'll never get past this Seven of Pentacles. You're never going to get past this wall. Okay. Now, if we end up freaking out and just sort of sabotaging the whole thing, throwing the whole thing away, then we're going to end up convincing ourselves that, hey, you know what? I got as far as I could, and that was all that was meant for me. This is a card of hopelessness. This is a card of being up against an obstacle so long that we start to feel like this is the limit. This is as far as Spirit wants me to go. You know, this is as far as I'm supposed to go in this life, I guess. Because what's the alternative? The alternative is that there's something I'm not seeing. There's something that I'm not good at, and I've got to. It's my fault, basically, right? The alternative to that is, well, it's not my fault. It just wasn't meant to be. So we got to get over this emotional thing here, and this is kind of like we're so close to the summit, and we want it so bad, and then all of this potential joy, all of this seed of our absolute bliss, just gets dashed. And we just feel, oh, it wasn't in the cards. It wasn't meant to be. That's nonsense. That's nonsense, right? This is that despair. This is that, this is the beginning of us feeling like, you know, this is the end. This is the end of the line. And it really, in that, you should read that book, The Luminous Dead, if you're into that sort of very claustrophobic book. But there's a point where her batteries are running out, and she's got no hope left. She just thinks, I'm a goner. And she's about to just give up and just die right there in the cave. But then there's something in her that her heart she fights, right? And she finds a way. And she does it with a little help from a friend. The boss person, the manager person in her ear. But anyway. So it's that despair, it's that hopelessness that we feel. And it usually, when we start to feel this, when we're ready to lay down, it's at that moment we need to muster our reserve tank of gas here and push. Because that's how you know that you're real close to the end there. You know, you're really close to the summit. And that's what I see here with the Ace of Pentacles at the end. You're getting to the summit of that mountain. And I feel like it's really going to be such a triumph for you. It's going to be such a jubilation. It's going to be that hallelujah moment. You're summiting the mountain. You're getting to the peak. You're busting through that wall. Busting through the wall, really, the 7 minus 1, right? We'll get that 6 of Pentacles. Maybe that'll be our mystery card, 6 of Pentacles. Because we're doing 7 minus 1 here, right? You're getting through this, and to get through this would then sort of bring us a little bit higher up. We get to the 6. 6 of Pentacles, success. Material success. You did it. Maybe you're just trying to get to that 100th repetition. Oh, you did it. You broke through your limitation. Yeah. Let's see what this is. I think it's going to be a 6 of Pentacles, maybe a 6 of Cups. If you have a prediction, please put it in the comments. Let's see what we have. The Moon. The Moon. The Moon is, again, that card of confronting fear. Right? The fear of the unknown, the fear of the uncertainty. And, you know, sometimes when we've got something like this, like an 8. We have to see the 8 of Cups and the 8 of Swords. That really is that sabotage. That's kind of where we convince ourselves that this is not in the cards for us. Because then, you know what? Then we can feel a little bit of certainty. Because the last thing we want, any of us, the last thing we want is uncertainty. This is sort of a universal fear. Fear of the unknown. Fear of not knowing what's coming next. Not knowing if I'm going to do this or not. So at least if we quit and we say, oh, it's just not in this lifetime. It wasn't meant to be. You know, at least then we have the certainty. Okay, it's not my fault. There's no potential out there that I have not fulfilled. It's just, it wasn't meant to be. Spirit said no. Okay, that's a relief. But to keep going, not knowing if or when or how we're going to get through this, that's a frightening thing. And that takes a lot of heart, a lot of energy, a lot of willpower, a lot of dedication, a lot of commitment. Especially if you don't feel that you have a lot of helpers or a lot of support around you. Spirit's saying that this is in some way related to you starting something new or making space. No, making room specifically, making room for something new. Yeah, so I don't know what, if you're built, I don't know what this is. But the moon card is that, that uncertainty. It is the darkness of the path before us. And we're not going to know what the future holds until we push forward and get there. If we turn back, we'll convince ourselves that it was a dead end, it wasn't meant to be, it wasn't in the cards, Spirit said no. It wasn't my destiny to do this, and then we can at least have certainty, right? And we can have, then we convince ourselves of the certainty. But I think you'll always have in the back of your mind the knowledge. What if? What if I could have pushed a little bit harder? What if I could have gotten through that? What if I just took another step? You know? What if, what if, what if? So this is something that will haunt us for the rest of our lives if we don't push ahead and at least see what is up there. Yeah. You got to keep pushing. Now we're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There's a link down below. New readings for Taurus Mondays and Fridays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free, doesn't cost anything. Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.